Sulu's journey towards peace and progress. For many Filipinos who grew up in the northernmost part of Luzon like I did, the word Sulu was once synonymous with armed conflict, kidnappings, and stories of violence that dominated the news. I ever set foot on the island, I had already formed an image of a place trapped in fear and uncertainty. My recent 3-day visit to Sulu completely challenged that perception. Instead of a province living in fear, I found communities eager to move forward. I met people who welcomed strangers with genuine warmth, shared generous meals, and spoke with hope rather than resentment. The abundance of seafood, tropical fruits, and the richness of the province's natural resources made me realize that Sulu has never lacked blessings. What it lacked for many years was the peace and government attention needed to unlock its full potential. At the same time, it was impossible to ignore the poverty still visible in many communities. Modest homes and limited infrastructure stand as reminders of decades when conflict discouraged investment and basic services failed to reach many areas. It became easier to understand why some people, feeling abandoned and without opportunities, once chose the path of armed struggle. That is why the presentation of .195 voluntarily surrendered high-powered firearms before President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. carried a meaning far deeper than a ceremonial turnover. The words of Governor Abdusaka M. Tan resonated because they reflected what I had observed during my stay. Peace is not merely the absence of gunfire. Those firearms represented lives turning away from violence, communities choosing dialogue over conflict, and a province determined not to return to its painful past. Cultivate their land, for tourists to visit, and for businesses to invest. What struck me most was that every person I spoke with shared the same aspiration. None wished to relive the dark chapters of Sulu's history. Instead, they spoke of unity, livelihood, education, and development. Their hope was remarkably simple, to live ordinary lives in an extraordinary province blessed with abundant resources. As an outsider, I left Sulu carrying a different story from the one I had heard growing up. The headlines of violence that once shaped my perception are slowly giving way to quieter stories of reconciliation and rebuilding. Those stories may not attract as much attention, but they deserve to be told because they reflect the difficult yet meaningful journey of a people choosing peace.
In the spotlights, we shine so bright, uniting our hearts, taking flight tonight. Together we conquer, hand in hand, with every beat we make our stand.
The surrendered firearms may symbolize the end of Point 1 chapter, but the true story of Sulu is only beginning to be written. One where lasting peace, sustained government support, and the determination of its people finally allow the province to become known not for its conflicts, but for its promise.
Taon ko para ayusin ang sistema yan. Kaya
simple lang naman ang i-advise ko sa inyo. Pag pakinabangan ninyo ng mabuti, itong pagkakataon na ito, at napakahalaga ng edukasyon. Ayan, from personal experience ko masasabi yan. Dahil ang pinakamaganda sa education, ang pinakamaganda sa may kaalaman ka, kahit ano pang mangyari sa buong buhay ninyo, pagkatapos na ninyo pag nagtapos na kayo, kahit ano pang mangyari, hindi na makukuha ang kaalaman ninyo sa inyo. Hindi malulusaw yan, hindi pwedeng nakawin yan, hindi pwedeng agawin yan, nasa inyo na yan. At araw-araw, maaalala ninyo na ito pala